Okay, so in the past few videos, I've probably mentioned a few things where I say we'll get onto that later, or we'll eventually get into that. One of the most important things we need to cover that I keep putting off is the subconscious mind. The reason I've been putting it off is because it's not a hard topic to go over. It's just that as soon as I got done recording for this video already, because I already recorded 10 minutes, I immediately thought of so many other things that I left out. And I tried and tried again, and I realized that I'm just going to have to make multiple videos over time. I might make another one right after this one, I might bring it in later, but I'm going to try to cover as much ground as I can right now, because if I try to hit everything, I'm not really going to give a lot of detail. And you need detail for things. It's very important. So let's get into this. Alright, and we're back. Welcome to Wealth and Prosperity. That's going to be the name for these videos specifically. I'm going to have different types of programs, I guess you could call it. This one being the fourth one, or the third one. The first one was the investing in yourself, and the second one would be the gratitude. So, to go over this topic, you need to understand that you have two halves of your mind, and they're not half and half as in 50% and 50%. It's more of 10% and 90%. And you've heard the whole saying of you only use about 10% of your brain. And yes, that's true, but you're also not using that 90%. That is true, but you can use it. Don't let that statistic let you think that all you can do is think in a 10% mind, because the 10% is the conscious mind. And the conscious mind governs thoughts, and especially of what you're aware of. And as you know, we're all vibrational frequencies. Like, everything is vibrating. We each have a different vibration. And when you're aware of certain vibrations, those are known as feelings to us. Like, you're consciously aware of your feelings at all times. You're like, I feel bad, or I feel really good, or I'm happy, or I'm sad. And those are just different vibrations, and we can change those, but not just with our conscious mind. So your senses are also played in part with your conscious mind, and they can deceive us at times if you've ever been alive. And so, since this conscious mind governs all our thoughts, what's really left for the subconscious mind? And the other 90% controls just about everything else. The subconscious mind can also put thoughts into your head due to subliminal messaging, and that's how that works. And we'll go into that later. But you gotta take it as the subconscious mind is more of a field of energy that can put effect on the energy that's around you. It can attract or repulse whatever you want. The subconscious mind only knows the present moment. Like your conscious mind knows past and future. You can think of the past, and a lot of people let the past get to them. That's one of the biggest problems. And the subconscious mind doesn't know past from future. It just knows present. So if you're dwelling on the thoughts of the past, you're going to feel those vibrational frequencies, and you usually get sad when you think about sad things, and your subconscious will take that as a now, and it's just going to manifest more things that you don't want. And you're probably wondering, well, how does it manifest things? You have to realize that your subconscious controls a lot of things that you don't even think are possible, and it especially controls a lot of things that are critical for us, including our heartbeat. If you had to control your heartbeat in every cell in your body, you'd never be able to get out of bed. So the subconscious mind controls this field of energy that's around us. But we can have some problems with this because our conscious mind will filter out things that we want to put into our subconscious to change the vibrational frequencies of our body. You see, because every thought that you have will go into the subconscious one way or another. And the subconscious is that field of energy, and the vibration will change, and it will attract a vibration that you do not want, and thus will bring things that you do not want. You notice a lot of people that are always complaining about their life all the time aren't doing anything but complaining about their life and talking about how bad things are. I can guarantee you that if just for 1 month you completely cut out every negative thing that you ever say, like I'm broke or I can't do this, and you replaced it with the complete opposite, a positive polarity, your life would immediately change. Now, since we realize that we are all just vibrations, then we know that the subconscious orchestrates, every cell in the body, all the energy that we're made out of. Because when you break everything down to a cell and then into the atom, and you break down the atom, you get energy. Everything is energy. So that means that our body is an expression of the mind. Because what you put into it, you will get out. So we have two things: the conscious mind that governs the thoughts, and the subconscious mind that governs the energy. So it's obvious that if we take a thought that we want and we impress it into the subconscious mind will then change the vibrations around us, like I said, to attract or repulse what we want, what we desire, what we will. And I'm going to go over the will and how it's important. So the question lies, how do we impress an idea upon the subconscious? Well, as I said, that the conscious mind governs all our thoughts. Sometimes we can have thoughts that we don't want come in, and that can really screw up what we want to bring into our life. See, if you've got a pot of some sweet, type of sugary mix of something that you want, or whatever you want, if you want a gumbo, then that's fine. You don't want to add things that you don't want into it to make it taste bad. And a lot of us let a lot of things get to us. And that can be a big problem when wanting to impress ideas upon the subconscious. You let other people then control your subconscious mind and manifest the things that you don't want into your life. So, if we're not in control of our own mind or filter the thoughts that come into them, how do we do this? Well, you're going to have to stick with it. You're going to have to practice. Frater Xavier over at Mind and Magic, one of his first videos, he gives an exercise that completely changed my life. It was the first thing that ever really changed it so much that it blew out everything else that changed it out of the water. And he said, every time you have a negative thought, you should treat it as an offer to either accept or reject. And he says, you obviously, if it's a negative thought, you want to reject that thought. And on the flip side, every time you get a positive thought, you obviously want to, accept that thought. Now, it's good if you can say this out loud. You don't have to every time. And you'll notice that it'll be hard. You'll reject a thought that you don't want, and it'll probably end up coming back within 5 seconds. Now, what helped me was replacing the negative thought with a positive thought. And he says to do this for 3 months. And the reason is because when impressing ideas upon the subconscious, it can take up to 3 months to manifest, what you want. If you ever notice what's going on around your life, it's really a mirror to yourself and what's going on inside. So think about how you've been thinking recently and look at your results. If you're saying, I can't do anything, well, you're right. You can't do anything, and you probably haven't done anything recently. But if you look at a guy that's always saying, I can do this, I can do that, he's always doing it. He's always doing it. And the reason that you want to do it for 3 months is that, things that you were thinking 2 months ago might be manifesting into your reality and, bringing negative things into our life. And, life happens to all of us, and you want to keep sticking with it. So it'll take about 3 months to actually filter out all those undesired thoughts. And so you're like, wait, so if I want a new Lamborghini like Ty Lopez or some other rich guy, all I have to do is just consciously think about it, and then the subconscious will vibrate the car into my garage? Well, sort of, but not like that. It's going to come in a very natural way. Now, you're probably not going to be able to just get a Lambo immediately. You've got to work up to it, but it's certainly possible. And if you think you can do it, then go ahead. By all means, try to get closer to the bullseye. You set the bar higher, and if you miss, that might be better than if you had had the bar lower. But this video is getting kind of long, so I'll see y'all next time. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I do have a Facebook page now. I'm going to put that in the description below. I haven't done it in the previous videos yet, and I'm probably going to do that now. I post a lot of good motivational videos on Facebook daily. At least I try to daily. And if you like my work on here, you should really check out that, because I also pull in a lot of other people's work that you should see. Because I'm not the only guy out here doing this, obviously, because you've probably seen most of theirs already. Either way, it's getting long. I'll see you guys next time.